everyone. Hope you're doing well. Today, I would like to again refer back to something we had discussed quite recently, that is deciding what you need from life. And I know that episode was clear. However, the reason I want to readdress that is because of two things. One is that I want to share with you a powerful story, how somebody has really utilized the power of deciding what you need from life. And then, secondly, most importantly, we are kind of close to the end of 2021. So, even if you want to decide what your goals for 2022 are, this would be a powerful list that can help you along the way. And those are the two reasons. So let's go to the powerful story that I wanted to share. The story I found is in this book that from Tony Robbins, and it's called Awakening the Giant Within. And he apparently had written this book in 2001, that is 20 years ago, and detailing around some of the achievements he had achieved in his life, and also how he used the power of self-improvement to achieve this. And one of the most important ones that I picked up from the book was the power of deciding what you want from life. So let me read out that part of the story, which can truly help you realize the power of deciding what we want from life. Because I put that video out about 3-4 weeks back and clearly outlining deciding who you want to be, what you want from life, i.e., what you want to have from life, and whatever things that you want to do in life. Decide all of that within a scheduled time so that you're not just completely spending days and days deciding that. Instead, you can take a limited time. Within that set limited time, decide all of that. It's a brainstorming. Now, let me read out this story and we can refer back to the bits again if necessary. But this is what he was explaining in the book. 8 years ago, in 1983, I did an exercise that created a future so compelling that my whole life changed as a result. As part of the overall process of raising my standards, I established a whole new set of goals, writing down all the things I would no longer settle for, as well as what I was committed to having in my life. I set aside all my limiting beliefs and sat down on the beach with my journal. I wrote continuously for 3 hours, brainstorming every possibility of what I could ever imagine doing, being, having, creating, experiencing, or contributing. The timeline I gave myself for achieving these goals was anytime from tomorrow to the next 20 years. I never stopped to think whether I could actually achieve these goals or not. I simply captured any possibility that inspired me and wrote it down. From that beginning, I refined the process 6 months later when I was invited along with a group of parapsychologists to the USSR to study psychic phenomena directly from the university experts throughout Russia. As my group traveled the country, I spent many hours on the train from Moscow to Siberia and back to Leningrad. With nothing to write on but the back of an old Russian map, I wrote down all my long-term goals for my spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, and financial destinies, and then created a series of milestones for each one working backward. For example, in order to achieve my top spiritual goal 10 years from now, what kind of a person I would have to be, and what things would I need to accomplish by 9 years from now, 8 years, 7 years, and so on, reaching all the way back until today. What specific action could I take today that would lead me on that road to the destiny of my choice. On that day, I set specific goals that transformed my life. I described emotionally the woman of my dreams, detailing what she would be like mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. I described what my kids would be like, the huge income that I would enjoy, and the home that I would live in, including the third story, circular office area that would overlook the ocean. A year and a half later, Life magazine was in my home, interviewing me as to how I had made such incredible shifts in my life. When I pulled out my map to show them all the goals I had written down, it was amazing to see how many I had achieved. I had met the woman I described and I married her. I had found and purchased the home I had envisioned down to the finest detail, including the third story office in the turret of the castle overlooking the ocean. When I wrote them down initially, I had no assurance whatsoever that these goals could be achieved. But I had been willing to suspend judgment for a short period of time in order to make it work. Now, that's the part I wanted to read out because to show you what's the power of deciding what you want. So, whatever the age you are in, as I requested you in that first episode as well, take the time, put the time as a block for 1 hour, half an hour, 15 minutes, whatever it is, as it is available. But suspend the judgment, as he says. Suspend the judgment and start writing down who do you want to be, what do you want to have, and what do you want to do. As long as you can write 10 things under each category, even that would be more than sufficient, and that will give you a clear path. And why I say, irrespective of your age, this works simply because of this. Whenever we pass through the life in a passive manner, that is sometimes very frustrating. Whereas when we know this type of a map or what we want from life, it gives us a purpose. It gives us some sort of action plan to look into and being able to decide, right, this is what I really want to do. When am I going to do these things? What do I want to do now, this year, this month, this week, for those to happen? And that is living your own life. That's why I encourage you again to do that. And that's why I wanted to bring you back to this example or the story from Tony Robbins. And Tony had a very difficult background initially. He worked as a janitor coming from a very poor background, poor family. And today you know who Tony Robbins is. He has even advised to the presidents of the United States and many other countries. So how could someone coming from that background and achieve or go so far? Simple things. And he has explained that clearly. So my invitation for you today is take the time and please do the exercise. That's my call to action. So with that, I would like to close the session, close the discussion today. Thank you very much for watching. If you don't take action, nothing will improve. So please go away and take action, and I will share something more useful in my next episode. Until then, thank you very much and have a great time. If you found this video was useful, please share with others and also don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much.